Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I am Joe Prisco. I am joined by DeJoan Mitchell. DeJoan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well so far. Just a little hot outside. How are you doing?
Doing very well. So it's a beautiful setting behind you, though, I have to say.
Oh, thanks.
um, my first question to you is, how did your online classes and your files end up going this year?
They went well. Honestly, I wasn't a big fan of the online method. I feel like I do better in class, but I passed my classes, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Hey, that's the most important thing, right? um, how is your family doing?
They're doing well so far. My siblings are at home. They're not going to school yet, of course, with the quarantine and summer break, but we're all just waiting for everything to get back to normal.
How is your time back home gone for you?
It's going well so far. I'm just ready to get out the house, if we're being honest. I'm tired of staying inside.
How about your summer? How has that gone for you? Have you done anything exciting this summer? I mean, I know you're limited in how much you can go outside, but as far as
Right.
internships, jobs, anything else like that?
Not this summer. I haven't done any internships. However, I've been doing a lot of community service and just
Okay,
helping around while we're lacking resources and things like that.
no problem. What kind of community service projects have you gotten involved with?
Uh, so far, I've been helping. I've helped feed the homeless. I've done some PPE giveaways like masks and germ mix and stuff like that. And I've even been working with some tutoring for the kids that aren't able to go to school and just want to stay active in the summer.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I think.
Do you get involved through your community center? How do you even hear about these opportunities?
Well, right now I'm doing it through a church.
Okay.
So that's how that's happening.
Wonderful, wonderful. I also heard, maybe I've been incorrect, but you're also a bit of a graphic designer, that you do a lot of the
That's what
design work.
Yeah, I do. Actually, for the team, I do our flyers and some video editing here and there when we need it. I never really called myself a graphic designer, but I guess you could say that because that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I heard from Dr. Smith that you do a lot of the graphic design projects, and I could always use a graphic designer, so keep that in mind.
Hey, no problem. I could help you anytime.
um, let's see. I know this is really difficult. How have you stayed in shape, both mentally and physically being a diamond? I know that a lot of times you're having to dance around and keep in practice that way, but also mentally, how have you been able to kind of keep in good mental form as well throughout the summer?
Well, I've been focusing a lot on self-care. That's been a pretty big thing for me. For instance, I love natural hair. So one way I've been kind of taking care of myself and finding something for me to do is finding different hair products to try out and different ways to do that. And I've also been spending a lot of time with my family, exercising or just hanging out and watching movies. So that's my main way to keep sane, is just spending time with people that I really care about.
So what movies have you been watching, or what can you recommend for anybody?
Honestly, all types of movies. My mom, she loves watching Jumanji and Aquaman, so she pretty much has that on repeat all day, every day. But besides that, I've been on Netflix myself. Recommendations, honestly, I'm a little bit all over the place right now, so I wouldn't even be able to tell you a solid one. But if you know any, I'm open to hearing. So,
Have you gotten into any new shows or programs maybe you hadn't watched before, that now that you've got the opportunity to kind of sit down with Netflix and you're like,
yeah,
let's check that out?
actually, I watched Avatar growing up. So now that I'm on quarantine, I started from the first episode and watched the whole thing through. And it hit a lot harder now that I'm older because I was able to pay more attention to it.
Awesome, awesome. So how have you been able to keep in touch with a lot of your teammates? I also understand you're one of the team leaders as well. So how
Yes, new one.
keep in touch with a lot of your teammates through this whole process?
Well, we have a group chat, so we like to keep up with each other in there and on Twitter, other forms of social media, but mostly we've been meeting up through Zoom, which is very helpful. I never used it this much until, of course, we had to use it for school.
Yeah, I never used Zoom before, and I think the whole world got introduced to it all at once.
Yeah.
Have you picked up any new hobbies or books, or additional time spent with the family, things that maybe you hadn't done in a number of years that you've gotten back into doing now?
Actually, yes. I've always been a painter. So in more recent times, because I've been home and I haven't had much schoolwork, I started to get back into that. So that's been nice, quite refreshing, actually.
Okay. How about this? Um, what is, would you say, you kind of got into a lot of different things you've gotten involved with, but, for your summer, what's the thing you're most proud of that you've done so far?
Hmm. The thing I'm most proud of that I've done this summer. That's a great question because I don't really think about it like that. I guess it would have to be helping around the community because it's always nice to give back to people. Makes you feel good.
Awesome. Awesome. And obviously I know we're still social distancing and, I hope
Mhm.
that, everyone takes that message to heart.
Right.
I
I
are,
hope they
but
do.
I think there's some people that aren't. But once we're no longer social distancing, what's the first thing you're kind of looking forward to doing that maybe you haven't gotten a chance to do in a couple months now?
Oh, I'm going to church. I miss just physically getting up and going to church and being around a bunch of people that I consider friendly face and I love talking to them. So as soon as this is back, I can go back to working at church and get back into that again.
Um, how long and when did you first start, as a dancer? And what, like, did you start young? Did you start like when you're a little bit? How'd you get started in it?
Okay, so I've always done cheerleading actually since I was maybe in elementary school and even into high school. But I always told myself when I graduated, I'm going to HBCU and I'm going to dance. So I actually started dancing my freshman year when I made the team at Dillard. And since then, I've just really fell in love with it.
Awesome, awesome. So you said you were a cheerleader in high school.
Mhm.
Did you, obviously that's a very intensive sport. Was there
Yeah.
anything, any other sports you participated in growing up before you got to high school or even through high school?
I used to play softball. I played that as a child and then I played it in high school too for a brief period until I switched to cheer. And I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, what position were you in softball?
I was an outfielder,
Outfielder.
left
All
field
right, go track
specifically.
him down, huh?
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you wanted to attend an HBCU. How did you decide that Dillard was the HBCU that you would like to attend?
Well, my cousin actually, she just graduated from Dillard. I used to come to the campus with her and go to different events. So just being around the campus my senior year of high school really set in that, this was a school for me and this is where I wanted to go. Before that, I actually never heard of Dillard, even though I lived like 20 minutes away. So it was very nice to find a school that was close and that I really liked.
Awesome, awesome. Um, so what's your favorite part, now that you've been at Dillard for, a little while, what's your favorite
Mhm.
part about Dillard as well as, being part of the dance program as well?
Okay, my favorite, well, the dance program is one of my highly favorite parts. But outside of that, it's really just all the friends I've made and the faculty members that I've gotten to know over time because everybody's so friendly and so helpful. So just to have a family away from home is helpful and, all around just a great experience.
Awesome. Um, and obviously you're not the same person as you were when you first arrived on campus. So as you look internally, what are some ways you feel as if maybe you've grown?
Definitely have grown in my time management. I was always involved in things, but just going to college, especially my first year, I was a commuter student. So just having to balance driving, dance practice, getting involved in different clubs and stuff was definitely a lot of work. And I feel like I've also grown in the way I interact with people. I've always been, friendly to people, want to talk to everybody, but just getting to understand people on a deeper level and talking to different people from different backgrounds has just been really enlightening.
Awesome, awesome. And we mentioned briefly movies before. Do you have a favorite actor or actress or a favorite movie?
Actually, I do not. I just tend to watch things, and if I like it, I like it, and I don't really take note of my favorite. I just love whatever makes me smile, honestly.
Okay. How about music? Do you have a favorite musical artist or type of music or group?
Favorite type of music, I can answer that one. Hi. Uh, Dang, it's still multiple, if we're being honest. I love gospel music. I like R&B, I like old school, just a bunch of stuff, pretty much, but my least favorite is rap music.
Okay.
Fun fact.
Good answer. Good answer. How about what is your favorite meal?
My favorite meal?
Yes, your favorite meal.
Anything with pasta. I love pasta. It's like my favorite thing ever.
Okay. Um, do you have a favorite athlete?
Hmm. I don't really watch too many professional things, but if I had to pick my favorite athlete, I could just easily say it's my brother. He's always been determined and dedicated to playing football, and I really admire that about him.
It's awesome. It's awesome. That's the first time we've ever gotten a sibling as their favorite athlete. So that's a great answer.
Oh, cool. Got to be different. Sounds like.
What would you say has been your favorite or the best class you've had so far at Dillard?
Ooh, dang, see, that's a difficult one. My favorite class.
It could be several of them too. I mean,
Okay, well, I know for sure I had a good time in AWS with Dr. Watts. That was definitely an interesting class to learn about Africa and history and all that type of stuff. I also like my classes. Oh, I don't want to leave out any names because I just love everybody. With Dr. Saloy, I love Dr. Saloy. I have some great classes with her and great discussions. Professor Pope. Dang. I don't know. I just love them all. I have great classes.
You've taken great classes, so it's no problem at all. So you mentioned before that when you first started off you were a commuter student, and then you transitioned to being on campus. How if someone was thinking about doing commuter compared to being on campus, can you kind of go through the the pluses of each one in your own mind?
Yeah. Commuting, the positives are one, you get to save money, but you also use it on gas. So it's kind of a hand-to-hand thing. You also get to be at home. You get to have your home cooked meals and spend time with your family. However, the cons will be having to give up on some things, going back and forth to campus and having to take into account, well, it's already 12. I need to get home. I got at 8 a.m. You got to take into account you're driving. But being on campus, it has its positives. Of course, you're already in the mix of everything, especially because it's such a small campus. I could walk out my dorm and walk straight to Kearney and bring my breakfast back to my room. But I don't know necessarily have a count for being on campus. It's just overall.
No, just a comparison, like in your own mind, like if someone was thinking about one route or the other, it doesn't have to be a con, just like what are the pluses that you found in each one. So
yeah, it's just very helpful. You don't have to worry about the driving time and what happens if your car gets messed up or something. You're just always there and can walk out whenever you need to. And you get to sleep in later. You don't have to wake up as early.
What is your favorite meal on campus? Now that you've kind of transitioned to more on campus, what would you say is your favorite meal on campus?
Look, it's a dragonfly. I'm sorry, that just really distracted me. My favorite meal on campus would have to be Fridays with my fried fish and macaroni. Everyone that I've had class with, they know DeJoan will leave class and go straight to Kearney for her fried fish and macaroni. It's just my favorite thing I look forward to every week.
And besides, obviously, your mother's cooking, most likely, is probably tremendous. But what's your favorite other place to eat, like the New Orleans area? Being from the area, what's some other favorite restaurants of yours?
Oh, I love Copeland's. Copeland's is definitely one of my favorite restaurants. We go there literally all the time. It's a go-to spot.
Okay. How about this? Who would you say is your funniest teammate?
They all clowns, if we be honest.
Okay.
They all keep me laughing, but my funniest teammate, dang, I truly could not tell you. Every one of them just makes me laugh all the time.
No problem. We can go with everyone. You guys have team chemistry, so everyone gets along very well.
Yeah, definitely.
One of your teammates that you would say is a little bit more organized than the rest, or are they all at about that same level?
I would have to say Jordan. She just graduated. She was our captain last year. Jordan had everything. She had the spreadsheet. She had the list for everybody. She just really kept us ready business-wise and on the court. So definitely Jordan.
Okay. If you could meet, or have dinner with several historical figures, who would be at your table?
Okay, let's see. Now I gotta come back to that one. I don't know.
Okay,
I gotta think about it. There's so many great people in history.
Yeah, we can come back to that one. Do you have any pre-competition rituals that you always go through before you go out and dance, before you perform?
Yeah, I sit in the corner in the back on the floor in the studio, and I just chill on my phone, listen to some music, and then right before we go out, we all goof around in the hallway. I might harass one of my teammates just because I can. And then we go on the court and start performing.
Awesome, awesome. I know obviously right now, like you're still in college, but once you graduate, get your degree, and you know, like what would you like to spend that first real paycheck on?
Honestly, I don't even know. I might be too excited, just want to keep it in my account.
Okay.
Hold it for a little minute longer.
Saving's a good option as well. So, if you're giving a Hall of Fame speech, you know, say you got inducted into, you know, the Dillard Hall of Fame, who would you like to thank in your Hall of Fame speech?
Thank my family. Of course, thank God first. Then my family, my parents for supporting me, my siblings that are always there to help me when I need them, all my friends, my teammates, and my coach. Definitely my coach.
Do you play any musical instruments?
I do. I played the piano for like 10 years, and then I played the saxophone maybe for 3 years. So yeah, that was it.
Multi-talented.
So thanks, yeah.
What was your first ever job? First time you ever got paid to do anything?
My first job was my internship with Judge Love in the Pure School in New Orleans. It was my first paycheck, and just like you said about the other check, I held the money for a second, and then I spent it. It was gone. I was too excited.
Hey, it's understandable. What place have you always wanted to see, but you haven't seen yet, but you will in the future?
I've always wanted to go to Bali, Indonesia. That's like, I see it online all the time, and I always thought that's the place I definitely want to go to one day.
Okay. When you talk about your hometown, St. Rose, what are you most proud of about your hometown when you're bragging on it?
Okay, well, there's not too many things here, but I'm definitely proud of the history of St. Rose. I learned that it was actually one of the first locations where the free slaves would come from the plantations, actually down River Road, and they would come here and they started their own communities and churches and things like that. So that's definitely one thing I'm proud of.
Wow, it's great. Great something to be proud of. That is easily the most inspirational one we've had yet about the most proud of, because most of the people say, oh, we have good barbecue or something like that. So that kind of caught me off guard. I have to be honest with you. So that's a great answer. Do you have any hidden or unknown talents that people don't know about that you would like people to know about you?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I pretty much shared just being crafty and stuff like that.
Awesome. Let's see. If say they're making a movie about your life, who would play you in the movie?
Okay. Is there an option to play myself?
You can play yourself. That's
Put myself out there?
You definitely can. What's one thing that people often misunderstand about you?
I feel like, so you challenging me. I like this because you're pushing some questions I don't really think about. I feel like a lot of people might think, you know, I talk a lot to everybody. I'm very out there, but sometimes I still, you know, get a little, like I still have times where I want to be to myself. I'm very out there and I don't mind performing in front of a crowd, but sometimes even I not necessarily doubt myself, but don't feel as confident. But you wouldn't usually know that because I try not to show it.
Okay, that's an incredible answer. So another one. What is one thing that you could not live without?
Oh, that's food.
All right.
That's food. I love to eat. I love to eat. I love some good food.
We can go back to who would be at your table, you know, like historical figures.
Okay. Historical figures. Okay. Mm. I put Marian Anderson. I put her because I always did my projects on her growing up. She was a famous opera singer and actually played a big part in the civil rights movement. So I definitely add her to that. Tell her all the projects I did. She could tell me some things, something like that. I'd do Dr. King. We learn about him all the time, and it just really be nice to hear his thoughts and ideas directly from him, and just to really talk more about that because I think it's interesting. Hey, who else? Do they have to be historic figures? That's what you had
It,
said.
it can be anyone you want. It's your table. So anyone that
Anybody? Then I would have to pick some of my family members I never got to meet. For instance, I'll put my grandmother, my dad's mother, and my dad's father. I never got to meet them. I'll probably fill the rest of the table up with family members I never got to meet, actually. Family is a big thing, though. So just to actually talk to people and get to hear them, especially older members of my family, that would be my main thing. I would look forward to them most.
Another amazing answer. So this is my last question for you. I see that you're listed as a biology major. Are you still a biology major?
I am not. After my freshman year, I changed to being an English major with a minor in criminal justice.
Okay. And what would you like to do once you graduate from Dillard with your English major, criminal justice minor? What's the next step for you, or what would be your ultimate career goal?
Well, I would like to go to law school, go into law, become an attorney, all that good stuff, and hopefully one day become a judge. That's like my ultimate thing that I want to reach.
Well, you are officially off the hot seat. I appreciate you taking the time, DeJoan.
No problem.
Some very thought-provoking answers. And once again, thanks for taking time out this afternoon, and stay well this summer. And I look forward to seeing you back on campus in the fall. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Same to you. Thank you.